Well. This is what it means to have a win. I've actually had myself a glass of wine.
I've got a brew, but I've just had 2 glasses of wine at my parents', so...
Oh, I don't normally do wine on its own without food, but tonight it warrants it. It feels such relief, does it not?
It's a turning point.
Oh, man. What a bizarre match that was, Amy.
Honestly, I tell you, so in the first 40 seconds, Arsenal should have been 1-0 up. Like, that chance had. And Dad turned to me and he said, Amy, this is it. This is our night. Luck is going to be on our side. And then they had that goal disallowed by VAR. So I was chanting, we love VAR. And anyone who watches knows I hate VAR. And then it just... then they're losing, and then oh god, it was just. I mean, to be on the end of it is good, but it was bizarre though. Like, if you're an Arsenal fan, God, how you must be feeling now, because to have your goalkeeper sent off like that is unforgivable.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I know I had Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. I did a live preview, which I don't do, which was quite popular. And Robbie came on, really nice chap, actually. And I called it 2-1, Amy, because he was going.
Did you?
Called it 2-1. I did. I said, I put a tweet on Twitter this morning. Any one of my friends on Twitter will probably say I had a feeling about it. But I tell you what, the first 10 minutes, I thought we were all over the place. I thought we could have been.
I thought it was going to be. I thought when they scored that first goal before it was disallowed by VAR, I thought it was going to be like a 4-0 thrashing or something like that, because they just didn't feel like they just weren't playing anything. They were getting on the ball. It was just they were getting nothing out of it, were they? But obviously, just before half time, and to be fair, they did have after Arsenal scored, I thought Wolves held it together quite well, and I thought they were coming back. They were getting quite a few corners and stuff, and then just the luck turned with that penalty and David Luiz. I mean, I think Jimenez was probably quite happy about that, wasn't he?
I tell you what, and we're getting quite a few comments in. There's a funny one here. Elvis put in the work tonight. If you watch my live streams, everyone, I have these lucky ducks that I got sent by Bill, who passed away, his daughters, and they haven't been very lucky. So I didn't have them on the stream tonight. I basically told everyone they've not been performing. I dropped them. I had a new duck arrive today called Elvis. It's actually called Elvis, a wooden duck. And I said he's my new striker, and everyone's going on about Elvis the duck because I dropped the lucky ducks. We've already got quite a few people backstage. I can see that we've got Jason, Thomas, Manny's up first. We've got James, Steve, we've got Ria and her dad, and we've got Scott. And because we've got so many and we've got to get it through, I've got a timer. Everyone's got 10 minutes because it was 2 hours the last one, and we need to shoot through these.
And we're back at work now as well, so
yeah, back at work. So I'm gonna change the thing. Manny's up first. He was first on tonight. Good old Manny, and it'll be really interesting to see his take on this. So, welcome to the stream, Manny. How you doing?
I'm doing
everyone's happy.
You know what? I've got double Robinsons. I have double Robinsons.
He's got the Robinsons. I
went for Vimto, but the Vimto, my son had drunk it all, so I had to go for the Robinson squash. But you know what? Oh, did we need that?
Oh, mate,
did we need that?
Just all the luck.
Well, you know what? It's not. I'm looking back, and if that was our defender challenging the striker and he went down as he was about to take the shot, we would have absolutely ripped our defender if it was Cody or Bowley apart. You make your luck in football, and we made our luck. After they scored, let's be honest, they should have been out of sight, 2 or 3-0 up. They were playing really well, but they were the second most informed side in the division over the last 7 games.
Oh, they were as well.
There's only Man City got more points. So they came at us and we looked that 6s and 7s looked like huge gaps, and you did think, oh my God. But after they scored, we took the game to them. We had corner after corner after corner, and you build momentum, and we did that. And you know what? One thing we haven't done all season is attack down the middle. And why it worked today was because we had a striker. And I know he won't get plaudits because of the goals we scored, but his role was vital in that side.
I thought he had a great game, didn't you, man?
He held the ball up. He was a presence.
What we've been missing.
That run, you know, when Podence gets that ball, he wasn't looking around. He made that run straight away. Podence released it at the exact moment, and he would have put that ball in the net. There's no way he's going down unless he's being touched. And it was a deserved, brilliant penalty by Neves, who, you know, the Neves story is going to be told for a long time. You know, what he's been through over the last few months and the last couple of weeks as well. I mean, we all said, oh, why didn't Neves play against Palace? You know, the guy watched the birth of his son on the coach back from Crystal Palace.
Oh,
and you know, Deborah got.
Sometimes COVID. Things are more important than football.
His partner tested positive for COVID on the 15th of January. You know, and he was away from all of that. But you know what? He insisted. He insisted to be on the bench, and he insisted to be playing tonight because he didn't want to let Wolves down, knowing all that was going on. Wolverhampton Wanderers have got a hell of a team of human beings before players, wonderful people, and we don't appreciate that enough as fans. We really don't. We're lucky. And today they came to the fore, didn't they?
I'll tell you what, man.
The Wolves came out tonight. What did we say the other day? We needed them to come out and have
warrior spirit. Yes, it worked. You know, and the thing is, it was back to the walls. It was proper. Like we had, everyone was wounded after those first 20 minutes. So we were scarred. We were scarred. We were wounded, and we came out and we were brave. And yes, they had another sending off, but again, you know, Traore's through. I just think Leno just got absolutely knowing which player was coming onto him.
He panicked, didn't he?
Well, the thing is, Traore would have got that ball. Traore gets any ball, you know, he would have got the ball. Whether he would have finished an open goal is another thing with Traore. But it was a clear goal scoring opportunity, and we managed the game. He put Vitinha on. Vitinha and Moutinho just stroked the ball around, and still typical Wolves, they get a free kick right at the end, and you think, oh, here we go.
I couldn't watch. I had my head in my hands thinking, blow that whistle.
That's always been the same. This wasn't perfect. There's still lots of things wrong, but we needed to win. And the senior players, Neves, Moutinho, even Cody, as soon as, you know, that after they'd scored, I thought he marshalled things well, him and Bully, and you know, Kilman was playing out of position. So yes, the pressure was less on them because Arsenal's team was reduced, but they still had a job to do. They're still a very good side with very fast players, and all their players were on form. You could see that. So we had the luck, but we made the luck. Don't forget that. Nobody says to Manchester United that they had luck. They always say, oh, they made their luck by good play. And I think after we conceded, we went forwards. We didn't. We could easy to get your head down at that moment and totally get annihilated, and we didn't, and we stuck in there. And this is what we've got to do. We've got to keep that spirit, keep the bravery, you know, chest out, warrior spirit, roll up your sleeves every single game, play it like a cup final, and just get out of trouble first, and then see where we can go. It's not perfect. There's still things wrong. Another player, Nelson Semedo, I thought, even though they scored a goal where that, you know, he'd made a couple of challenges and he lost the ball, I think his general play today was fantastic. You know, he was it was an error
that led to the goal, but everything else he was
forward thinking. He strode forward. He carried the ball. He had a shot. You know, and he is getting better. I think he's getting
more comfortable. I think with the style of play, because we know that Liga is such a different league to the Premier League.
You know what, Amy? The problem is the poor chap has played as a wing back, then a full back, then left back,
and then out of position
everywhere. You know, if he was playing just one position all season, then I'm sure he would have had time to master a partnership with somebody on that side. But he hasn't had that because we've been disjointed, we've had injuries, we've made mistakes, and Nuno, fair play to him. He was brave today, brave to go for 4 at the back and play Podence and Neto and Traore and Jose. That was a brave move against an informed Arsenal, and it very nearly backfired straight away. But it was only the post. The post, that was a bit of luck. Offsides and offside, they don't put the flags up anymore. If he puts his flag up at the time, then we don't even talk about, oh, it was a disallowed goal. We just say, well, it was offside. So, we rode the luck, but we made the luck, and it was a fantastic, brilliant win. 3 points. That's all it was about. Getting 3 points somehow. When they say, even if it comes off your bum or it's an own goal, just get a win, and that's what it was tonight. But you know what? It didn't come off the bum. It was one of the greatest goals you've ever seen.
Oh my God! It's goal of the season for Wolves.
And we're not even there.
I know.
We're not even there.
Big Cave was in that stadium with all that drama.
Even the Billy Quiet would have been doing cartwheels at that moment.
Been jumping from the top, I think.
I'll tell you what. Annie, people write Moutinho off, and he's on the twilight of his career, and maybe you can't do it for 90 minutes of every game, but if you can have the legs around him to create a bit of space for him, he can do magic like that. And
he can. I mean, yes, he had more space because Arsenal were reduced, and he managed the game. And maybe that's what we've got to do. We've got to manage him and not expect to play him. And I think personally, I don't think he was going to play Palace. And I think the Neves situation, where his wife's just about to give birth and he's still insisted on being on the bench just in case he was required, to keep his mind occupied. But I'm sure he would have played. It's more than meets the eye sometimes. So we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We're very quick to jump in and judge players, all of them, and fantastic tonight. Fantastic. Arsenal, informed side. We put them to bed. We've got to go to Leicester. Same attitude.
The commentators just kind of throughout the game, just slowly, they were like, the start of the game, they're like, Wolves have got no chance, and then it just turned.
We can pass the ball. We've got talented players. Look at some of the goals we scored. Moutinho against Chorley, Neto against West Ham after lockdown.
I think it shows how much they're they were lacking in confidence. They've been lacking in confidence, haven't they? And hopefully tonight,
confidence is huge. These are young kids. Adama, Neto. Moutinho, even the older players, they then look around and everybody's quite young, and to try and lift them all, sometimes you just need something to go for you. And it went for us. It went for us in those first 10 minutes. We hung in. 1-0 would have been a great result for us at half-time. Huge result.
Unbelievable.
But we got that break. We got the break by good play. Podence's pass was spot on. Jose's run was brilliant.
Jose to me made all just
we cut them apart and
held it more, didn't they? Just commanding.
We haven't had that since Raul has been out the side, and then he's provided. He's more than a goal scorer. You can tell that. He's a proper all-round proper targetman, and holds the ball, passes it. Had a great shot in the second half. It was straight down the keeper's throat, but he's got a shot on him. So it's hopeful, and there's lots to work on. And you know what? My man of the match. You're going to ask me, Dave.
Man of the match, and you rate performance rating, mate, to finish off.
Okay, performance rating. I'm going to say 8, even though it was 9 men. I just think we were brave. It wasn't a 10 because we made mistakes and we could have been, And my man of the match, I'm just going to give it to the manager. I really am, because he's took so much stick. And sometimes deservedly. He hasn't been perfect. He's made mistakes. He's still quite a young bloke, He's younger than me, so anyway, I'll always call him a young bloke. So and I'll give it him. And fantastic. Let's go on to the next match. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Celebrate the win, because I'm having double Robinsons because it's been ages. It's been ages since we've had the chance. To celebrate a win. So you've got to celebrate the moments and live in the moment, and then play Leicester. Leicester aren't going to sit back. They're going to come for us as well. So that does leave us
It does take a little bit of pressure off now going into the Leicester game, though.
Yeah, it does. But we can't sit back on our laurels and think, well, we beat Arsenal.
Got another win.
We forget about it. Pretend this has not happened. And we go into Leicester as a must-win, as a cup final. Play them as cup finals. Why not? Let's just go out there, express ourselves in a way the season's gone in terms of dreaming of finishing top 6. So or top 10, when that happens, you just let yourself go and play and attack, use it in attacking intent. We play 4 at the back, we can score goals. Yes, we look a bit shaky at the back. That will have to be addressed in the summer, getting a more stronger unit of defenders to play in a back 4 if that's the way
that will
forward.
Be a priority.
Yeah.
But fantastic, man. Absolutely brilliant. I know you've got an early start tomorrow as well, mate.
I have, yeah. 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock.
He's going to
I'll go to bed.
Get some 40 winks.
I ain't gonna. I'm just gonna be dreaming of that Moutinho shot and what we would have done at that moment.
Fantastic. And if you're backstage, next up is Thomas. If you want to get yourself ready, mate, you were second on. Fantastic, Manny.
Brilliant.
Up the Wolves.
Bye.
Yeah, up the Wolves. Yeah, brilliant to win. Bye.
See you guys. Thanks, Manny. As always, Manny speaks so much sense. And we've got a young man coming back on. Here he is. Hello, Thomas.
Oh, little superstar.
Amy's going to start this on off with you.
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. My dad's watching.
You let loose tonight, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of tonight then, Thomas?
I thought we'll get criticised a lot from being 2 men more than Arsenal, but I think we showed some. It was a Nuno performance. You'd go 2 men and then you'd sit back, but it was what we needed to do because Arsenal, they couldn't do anything about it because if they went forward, we'd go forward. Mm-hmm. We countered them even though we held the ball. But this week's been very weird. I mean, I think the most surprising thing was John Ruddy getting named in the FA Cup Team of the Week against Chorley. I think that wasn't needed.
Yeah, not great. But so what are you looking forward to ahead of Sunday? Would you change anything going into Sunday? Would you just continue as they played tonight?
Although I think we should sit with the same lineup, I don't think Nuno will. It would be very Nuno-esque to change back to Dendoncker.
Nuno-esque of this season to change.
Yeah, to change back to Dendoncker. Even though Dendoncker's good, that Crystal Palace game was very inconsistent of him.
Which isn't like the Dendoncker that we know, isn't it?
No, but he's only improving, Dendoncker. So
yeah. So what impressed you the most tonight, do you reckon?
There was a lot of things. I think Jose was the biggest factor. If we were starting Fabio, who I think still would have made some of those runs, I think it wouldn't have been the same. Though as well as that, I think the penalty, it was soft, but I think it was a penalty. Saw a lot of people saying about the, I think it was the double thing, about yellow card and penalty. Though I thought
it was something if you do it in unintentionally, then it's a red card, or intentionally it's a yellow or something, is what they said at half time, wasn't it? It was a bit confusing, but
I thought that retired referee actually said it quite well. I mean, Moutinho's goal, I think that just rounded off the performance.
It was just unbelievable when it went in, wasn't it? I had my tea, my sausage and mash on my lap at the time on a tray, and it nearly went flying everywhere because I was eating my tea. But yeah, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? And it's first goal that Moutinho's scored since Bournemouth, which was a massive strike of a hit as well, wasn't it, last season? So it's, I think after, everyone was quite critical of Moutinho on the weekend and saying he'd had his day, etc. So it was good. I mean, he put a solid performance in, and the goal itself was absolutely fantastic. It was thought Neves had scored it for a second because it was more like a Neves goal, wasn't it, than a Moutinho goal?
I think
wasn't it just for a goal?
Yeah, I think Nuno played the right lineup today. Because if you look at the when we played against Arsenal, I think we had I think Marcel was in the lineup. Jimenez, of course. But it was a hard match because I turned off the TV for stoppage time. I couldn't face it.
I was close to turning it off, but you always have to see it through to the end.
But I thought there were some improvements to take from that match. Something we need to improve. I thought their goal was it was awful to concede.
Yeah, it was quite heart-wrenching.
Yeah, I watched it on the replay, and I'm not sure how Semedo's gone down.
No.
But, I mean, he's still... I think Pepe's had more time to grow into the English game than Semedo, which is sort of... And I think I heard about Arteta training him on his weak foot. So, I think...
I'll tell you what, you do talk a lot of sense, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Thank you.
So who was your man of the match and your rating?
Well, my team rating was 7.5. I thought there were things that were really good. I thought overall we were better. We were better than any of our last 6-7 performances. But man of the match, I've got 4 names written down. Well, no,
okay, let's talk through them.
Three names. I've got Neves, Jose, and Moutinho. Thought Neves was. Don't think I can give it to Neves. He scored that penalty, which was a really good penalty because, I mean, he
did smash it.
Top bins, and you could tell he wanted to score, obviously, because of his recent
everything that's happened.
Yeah, everything that's happened in his life. And I think it was good for him to score. I think Jose as well, really good performance. It looked like it gave the attackers more strength and confidence going forward when you know you've got that person in the box. But again, he did there were crosses that you think if Jimenez was there, he would do everything to get to. I think Willian is still learning that.
I think he's a bit of a slower move. He moves, but he's a bit more rigid, isn't he, than Jimenez. Jimenez is very quick, and I don't think Jose is as quick, but he just seems to command the box a lot better for me. It's just that big presence against the defenders, isn't it?
Yeah, I've actually got 4. Moutinho as well, obviously, because of
the goal and controlling the game.
Thomas, who are you going to pick out your top one? Because we've got to have one, because we've got to get a lot of other people on as well tonight.
I'm going to go Moutinho for the goal. I think.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So 7.5 and Moutinho.
Thomas, absolute pleasure to have you on. He's only 12, aren't you, mate? 12 years of age. And your dad, I think your mum's there in the background and your dad's watching tonight. Well done. You've done them proud again, mate.
Well done. Thanks, Thomas.
Good to be speaking about a win.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So next up, we're going to be having Mr. Jason Guy. Again, obviously we've had Jason on a regular, and we've had he always makes us laugh as well, and we've lost or not done very well. So this is the first time we're going to have him on with a win. So, hey, Jason.
I'll tell you what an introduction. I've got to say, though, we've got to pay a tribute to young Thomas, because I thought that was absolutely brilliant how he spoke then, and he was exactly right. I'll be honest with you, though, Dave, I didn't watch that much of the game tonight, Dave and Amy, so I'll be completely honest. So I won't take up too much of your time, but there is a reason I didn't watch too much of it. But what I did watch, I mean, Moutinho's goal, unbelievable. People have been writing him off, but look, he's still got that in the locker. And you know what? It's not just down to he scored a world. There's obviously much more to his game than that. Interesting as well, several journalists this week talking about Nuno, looking at Twitter. And do you know what? I've said all along, these managers, players know exactly what's going on. And it can't be nice to read some of these things. But listen, how they've responded tonight is fantastic. By all accounts, the first half wasn't the greatest. Yes, we conceded first again, as we always do. But we've got a great win tonight against a good Arsenal team. And I firmly, genuinely believe now we're going to go on a run. I think that this is going to be the catalyst.
I think it is.
To go on a run now and get some points on the board. And I'm really pleased that I can finally come on and talk to you guys about a win.
I mean, I'm glad that we're doing the same thing as well. I couldn't face coming on tonight and having another conversation about a loss or a poorly strung out draw or something. And we needed to win.
And listen, as Twitter journalists, we're all watching the match and we're all scrutinising it. And listen, you can dissect this game any way you want. And you go, we could have done this, we could have done that, he could have done this, he could have done that. ultimately, we've got 3 points, and that's all we're going to focus on and move on, because there's no point now in trying to pick and find a negative in that, 'cause it's easy to do. And I've been on Twitter tonight, and there's some people, oh, we didn't do this, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not bothered, because if we had have played Arsenal off the park tonight
And lost.
strung 800 passes together like good old Chelsea and not scored, we'd have been moaning about that. So we have got absolutely nothing to moan about. The reason I didn't watch much of the match tonight is because the new book is finally here. Tales from the Tape. You can order it at talesfromthetape.co.uk. Yes, it's a plug. It's supporting two great charities, Cancer Now and the neonatal department at New Cross. I interviewed 36 former players and managers, and there is some unbelievable stories in there. And you are supporting two great charities, but more importantly, Wolves beat Arsenal.
Hey, Jason, I've one of your. I've already bought the book, haven't I? I've got one of your limited edition ones.
You certainly have, Dave. So, Dave, you've got a subscriber edition, which is signed by a few of the players in there, and your name's in the back. Dazzling Dave. And actually, on your envelope, I think I've put Dazzling Dave. So I hope the postman knows who you are, mate.
Seriously, I mean, Jason, you've raised a lot of money. You just want to tell everyone about the charities and why you support the charities.
So I lost my wife to breast cancer in 2015, and my daughter, I'm remarried, my daughter, who was born 4 months ago, has got a few little conditions, and she was born premature, and she's had fantastic care from the New Cross neonatal department. So this book is raising money for both those charities, and we've already sent over £1,000 to the charities, and we're hoping to raise somewhere in the region of £10,000, £5,000 each. But I can't do it. It's not down to me. I can't do it without the generous people on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, all your followers. I can't do it without them. It's not about me. It's about the people that support me.
So, Jason, can you just, before we get on to your rating and your man of the match, can you just tell people how they can get onto the thing? And if you can send me the link.
I will, Dave.
I'll just private message me or drop me a link. I'll put it in the comments for everyone to click on. It's
Tales from the Tape, talesfromthetape.co.uk. Talesfromthetape.co.uk. It's 20 quid, supporting two absolutely great charities. And there's lots of stories which people haven't heard before, and it's players all the way from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s up to Carl Hakimi and Michael Kitely. So there's some good stories in there. My man of the match tonight is Nuno, so I think he deserves it. That's the one. Well done, Dave. Nuno deserves it for me. Like I said, I didn't watch much of the match, but listen, he's had his team meeting this week. Whatever he said, whatever he's done, it worked. And I'm going to give him 10 out of 10 tonight because we've got 3 points, and I'm a happy clapper.
Absolutely brilliant. And just to remind, we've got Andy Saunders saying I want a copy. WFC going class. Neil Ryan, respect. And just to remind you, if you do want to get a copy of it, the website where you can order from, I've already ordered mine as well to support. I'm looking forward to reading the book.
Has Amy ordered hers?
Well, I didn't know about it until just now, so I will be.
Well, good.
Tales from the Tape.
It sounds something like my dad would completely love.
You're not on Twitter, are you? That's why.
No.
And actually, guys, more importantly, Valentine's Day is coming up, so your girlfriend or your boyfriend would love this book.
It's a fantastic book, yes. So make sure you order it. Jason, thank you ever so much.
Problem.
And next up, we're going to be having James Speedy. Thanks, Jason. Top man.
Oh, that book sounds fantastic.
It is, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. He's put that together. I say he does a fantastic podcast as Jason. So I ordered one of the subscriber editions, which I'm looking forward to coming. It'll be a good read, that will. Jason, hello. James, sorry, welcome to the thing. Just drop your camera so we can see a little bit more of you than just your head.
Sorry, mate. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, James, what would you like to say?
Well, I've got my notes again, if that's okay.
Of course. Read away.
First of all, I want to... basically, I've lost my best friend today. That's why I was late on your show, Dave. I've lost my dog. She was my best friend. So I just wanted to mention
to hear that.
Okay. It's okay. She had to be put to sleep. She had liver failure, so it's obviously been a traumatic time for the family. It's okay. Thank you. I do appreciate your condolences. So first of all, I put a brilliant performance, and it's typical Wolves, isn't it? My mum can't get on the show. She's obviously extremely sad about obviously the dog. The reason I put typical Wolves is obviously because they've been on a bad run. But when it started the Chelsea match, Chelsea scored first, and then Wolves come back to obviously it was different scorers. But Wolves came back, and it's typical Wolves, and it's absolutely brilliant. Me and my mum said 2-1, like I've just mentioned. Keep the faith. I know you say that, Dave, a lot, and Amy, you say that a lot, and I definitely agree with that. Also, I think it was a confidence boost, and it was a confident performance. I'll get onto my man of the match in a minute, if that's okay, and obviously the ratings. And Dave, I know you like your stats, mate, and I like my stats.
I do, I do.
Wolves had 55% possession, and Arsenal had 45%. Who know that, eh? Wolves had more possession than Arsenal. Good, innit, Dave and Amy?
I know it is. I think it would have been a different story if there had been 11 players on the pitch, but you can only play who's in front of you, can't you? So.
Yeah, you can.
But no, they did seem to. I think I saw a stat towards the end of the game that came up, and Wolves had like 90% possession, which is unheard of for Wolves.
About a 10-minute period, wasn't it, in the second half?
Yeah, 10-minute period, and they had 9%, which was just a pleasure to watch because it's very unusual that happens.
I know.
So, what were you most impressed with tonight, James? What did you like to see the most?
I've got to be honest, like Jason. Obviously, I know he's voted, but I've not seen much of the match because obviously, I'm not going to lie.
It's been a bit of a hard day with the dog. Well, obviously, we appreciate you coming on, especially with the dog.
I have to keep going. The show must go on, like I've mentioned. I've got to keep going. Obviously, Moutinho, I think he pulled the strings in the midfield, and his goal was, well, I didn't see the goal, but I can tell from my mum's reaction, it was like a worldie. It was like, she went, whoa! Like, that was like, whoa, that must be a good goal. But
yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. To be honest with you, when you said about the 90 possession, it was like we're talking about Man City here, but obviously, no, I told you it's typical Wolves, and I think, like Jason says as well, Wolves are going to run now. I know it's getting a bit ahead of myself, but I think they'll come toe to toe with Leicester. They're at Molineux. I know they've got no crowd, no other Premier League got any crowd, but they'll come toe to toe with Leicester because Leicester have got a good midfield. They've got obviously Maddison. He likes to control the ball. But I think once Wolves get like the hold of the game, they'll scare Leicester like they've scared Arsenal tonight. And yeah, it's a great win. I think
you're right, James. I hope you're right. I mean, it's a bit of pressure off getting that off the players and Nuno's back. To finish off, James, what are you going with your score rating for the performance and your man of the match? And the next person on will be Steve from the Wolfpack Howlers.
I'm like Thomas. Well, I ain't got 4 man of the matches. I mean, I've got 2. So Traore and Moutinho, obviously, because like I say, pulled the strings in the midfield and dominated. And first half, my match rating was about 6. Sorry if that sounds a bit low, but my second half rating was a 9. It was brilliant, and it was when Wolves play like that, it's actually a pleasure to watch. It's like it brings a smile on your face. And the day I've had, I'm not going to lie, it's been horrible. But what I said to my mum, goes, I'm so glad this team's won because it's actually made me a little bit better the day I've had. And I'm going to thank you both as well. I'm so glad Wolves have won, and I do thank you both for that because I know you're massive Wolves fans, like my mum downstairs.
James. Thank you very much. Just for anyone, you are autistic, so this is a big thing for you to come on and talk on the channel. I hope it helps build your confidence as well.
It does. I love it. Seriously, Dave, you know what it's like? Sorry to drop. It's like TalkSport with you two. Obviously, you're better presenters than Jason Cundy and whatever his name is. But Andy Thompson. TalkSport, Dave. Brilliant.
That's absolutely lovely. And can we all just say there's a lot of the people in the comments that just want to send their condolences and everything for the loss of. I know it's. Your beloved family dog. So, what was the dog's name?
Ripley.
Ripley, and I send you love and best wishes to your mum as well, mate.
We'll be on. Thank you. We'll be on Sunday if that's okay. My mum will be on. We'll talk about.
Okay, mate. Just get in, and if we can get people on, because the show's getting quite popular now. We've got people stacked up. So get in early.
Because I've to pay TalkSport.
Exactly. Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. Thank you. All the best.
So that's James coming on again. Lovely to speak. And next up, Amy, he was on the half-time as my halftime guest, playing on his piano, and he is the keyboard player, Steve, from the Waterback Ambers. Hello, Steve.
Get in, mate. Oh, yes. Brilliant.
Oh, it's so nice, everyone coming on and just being happy and smiling, and just such a mood lifter, isn't it? Like, you think of everything that's happening at the moment, and it's just so nice to have something to feel good about, isn't it?
I've been so miserable past couple of months. I really have, and then it was nice. It was nice to see that fighting spirit coming back in the second half, wasn't it? It was. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. Very, very pleased.
It's just typical Wolves, though, isn't it? To think that, like, it's never easy, is it? Like, you think, they'd never win the games you'd expect them to win. And then Arsenal are the informed team, and then everything happens with the disallowed goals and the sending offs, and it's just always a show, isn't it?
It is, and it all comes down to that one word, confidence, doesn't it? You can tell. If the first half, the first 2 minutes, you could see, no matter what Nuno said to them, it was just it's not there. It's not there, is it? And they exploited it. I'm sure Arteta's tactics were go and get him straight away, and that's exactly what they did. And we were all over the shop. But we did ride our luck big time. But obviously the red card helped end the first half, and. I'm just delighted, really, because I'm just hoping and praying that we can move on from this, and we can just take this as a catalyst, and hopefully the youngsters that are in the team, they need that confidence, and if the older players, even like players like Cody and Moutinho, if they're not confident, how are the youngsters going to be confident? So you've got to obviously something to build on from this, and or the Nuno haters can crawl back under
get back in the box.
Absolutely, because we love the guy, and we need to keep him. He's we owe a lot to him, really, for what he's done for us, and that loyalty. We'll show that loyalty needs to come back,
Yeah, I think as well. I think after Moutinho scored that goal, you saw what it meant to the players for the first time in quite a while as well.
I missed the goal. I was talking to Dave, and I missed the goal. So I've just seen it on YouTube. YouTube. So yeah, what a strike that was! What a fantastic strike! It was. Fantastic goal. I've got to say, because it's you a goal, isn't it, Moutinho? When was his last goal?
Bournemouth away, like was it November 2019?
That was youngster.
I will tell you what, Steve, what a goal! Because you've had a lot of fans, and quite rightly, I suppose, starting to think, is he past his best, and maybe he hasn't got the legs as he used to have. But if you can, he's still got that brain. That football brain, and the strike that he hit. I mean, did you see how much it meant to him? He was pointing at the telly, he was celebrating like an 18-year-old. Yeah. The joy that he had from that feeling, I felt so happy for him as well.
Yeah,
I'm amazed he's still got it. To be fair, I mean, the engine he's got is unbelievable. You can tell he looks after himself a lot. He's still got a lot to give. I don't think he's past it or anything. I know he's in his, like you say, he's in his twilight years, but he's a fantastic player. He really is. And what he's, like you say, his brain is quicker than most people on the pitch. So he's I love him. I think he's a really, really good player. But what Manny was saying before about playing down the middle, that's one thing I always, whenever I'm on the WhatsApp group with the lads after the game, it's always goes wide to Traore, or it goes Neto might put a cross and no one's there. It's very, very predictable what we've been doing, and what we need to do is play through people, and we've got the players to do it. We've got some fantastic midfielders with quick feet, quick brains, and I just don't know why we don't do it more often, and that's one thing we need to exploit a lot more. And if we have that dynamic to our team, we can we're not as predictable, so we're going to be much harder to play against as well.
Did you think it was quite a brave selection of Nuno to go to the back four? I mean, it nearly did backfire first 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, crikey, we rode over.
You can see why he did do that, though, can't you? You can see he has. A lot of things have gone wrong this season. You think about the players we've lost. We haven't got a big squad anyway. We buy youngsters to bring them up, and obviously the injuries didn't come into effect when those decisions were made, were they? So then those players are then supposed to live up to the Jimenezes and the Johnny Ottos and all that kind of stuff, and that hasn't happened. And a lot of things have gone wrong in that kind of respect. And so to tinker with then another formation with a 4 at the back, I mean, it's just bad luck on our part. But we haven't mastered it, and then we revert back to what we used to. But because confidence is so down, it hasn't worked out for us, and it's such a shame it's happened that way, really. And it's going to be a bit of a wasted season. But I'm just glad we're not looking at relegation just yet, and because obviously that talk of that is unthinkable, really, isn't it?
I think, to be fair, you're right. I think this winning. The bottom two. I think. Sheffield are putting up a fight. Fair play.
Well, Albion lost tonight as well, didn't they? Which is fantastic. So that was great.
They will want that. I was getting some Albion fans on again. It was 1-0 down. He's got his head out, and then we won. But we won, and fair play. Sheffield are giving it a bit of fight now, but it might be a little bit too late for them. Fulham are playing well, but Fulham are actually the only Premier League team that have now not won this year, even though they've been playing quite well. Did you know?
I didn't know that at all. No, I think.
Well, we were alongside them up until a few hours ago, weren't we? So I don't think none of us paid much attention to that little stat. And
it's the first time we've beaten Arsenal in the top twice since 1977-78 season or something like that.
Yeah, and then apparently, according to my dad, they won the League Cup the year after. So that's what he tells me is going to happen next season. We're going to win the League Cup.
FA Cup this year.
I said that to him. I said, "Is it the FA Cup you want, Dad?" And he said, "Yes, it is."
So, Steve, whilst you're on, are you just going to give us a little bit of another bit of a tinkle and a little bit of a jitty before you give us that man of the match?
Oh, Moutinho, he loves a Vino. Baby from Monaco to Nice. His pockets are found, the football heaven. It's my take, Moutinho.
That's absolutely fantastic. As I say, Steve's from the Wolfpack Howlers. Absolutely brilliant guys they are.
Let's put a bit of a plug out, mate, if that's okay. We've got our CD out. We're also online now on Apple Music as well. If you go onto if you type in Wolfpack Howlers or Wolfpack AOB on Twitter, into Facebook or Twitter, you can request us to come and play for you, and we can also do personal messages for you as well. So please get in contact with us if you think you'd like to give a nice gift to a family member or a friend. And we can. We've even written songs for people already this year, so please get in contact with us.
I tell you what, as well, because you came down, didn't you, and did performance on the drive in the rain. My mum, who's 80 something, my dad 82. I didn't tell them, and my mum had been really, really, really down. And they came and played. I've got a YouTube video of it on my channel, and the lift that it gave my mum and dad, and it really perked them up, especially my mum, because she'd been so down. It, absolutely priceless, mate, what you did for us that day. And I say my mum and dad want to book them for their 60th wedding anniversary later on in the year. So hopefully that'll be cool. And I'll come and I'll have to come and do a song with you, because I'm a bit of a drummer, and do one song and surprise them. That would be amazing.
Get on it, mate. Get on it. You can be like the Bez in the background with the maracas.
Exactly,
I have zero musical talent, so I'm not getting involved in this one.
So, Steve, to finish off your man of the match and your rating before we get on to Rhea and her dad, who's next up?
I'm sticking with Bolly. I think he saved the game for us. I think without Bolly, we would have lost the game today. And I'll give the first half 4 out of 10. I'm going to give the second half 9 out of 10.
So that's probably an average.
So that's a 7 out of 10.
7, yeah. Fantastic overall.
Improvement, definitely, but we're on the up, so that's the most important thing. Nice one, guys.
Thanks ever so much, Steve, and hopefully you can come on again and do some more.
Anytime.
And you got Niall saying, loving the tinkles. Jerry says, thank you, Steve. WWFC, nice tinkle, Stevie. So, man, Steve. And thank you, Steve. Absolutely brilliant, mate. See you on the next one, hopefully.
Nice one. Take care, guys. See you later.
Take care. And so that's Steve from the Wolfpack Howlers, and they're fantastic. They are. They're proper lovely folks. And here they are. It's Mini Amy, aka Rhea, and Dad. Take it away.
Well, you've gone away. You can start. Well, I think we were shaky the very start of the first half, but then as the game we got better as the game went on, I think.
Yeah, well, we did. Yeah, the first half.
I mean, we won. We won.
Yeah, we won.
We won.
Amy, we've got to stop there for 1 second, because on the last one, Ria, she basically got there. She gave that team talk, what you'd say, and we're all going, yes, yes. And look what's happened after your team talk, Ria.
See what magic can do like that.
Shaky. It didn't matter. They were shaky in the first 10 minutes. They won.
Yeah, they won, and that's all that matters, because we're in such a state that any win by any means necessary, however we can get it, we just desperately need it to win. So overall, absolutely fantastic, absolutely delighted. We're just glad and so over the moon to get 3 points, because Sheffield United have won them up to like 11 points. Now Albion 12. Fulham got a game in hand still. Brighton won yesterday. So I'm still looking that way. Even though we've won, I'm still looking behind us. You know,
a priceless 3 points.
It is a priceless 3 points, yeah. But like I was saying, the first half, that could have been 4-0 up. They hit the post. Patricio made a couple of good saves. They had a goal disallowed for like offside by that much. So we was looking, and we was making the cardinal sin of giving their midfielders too much time on the ball, whilst our defensive line was 5 yards too high. If you give people like Thomas Partey that sort of time and space to look up and pick a pass, he'll drop it in behind you every time. Saka was getting in. The midfielders needed to be squeezing tight out to their midfielders to stop them having the freedom to play the ball, or our defensive line.
I think we were saying that they were giving them too much time and space early, and we did look very, very vulnerable. And I mean, Saka is such a good player as well, isn't he? He's so clever. They kept getting in and behind us, and we did. I mean, Patricio did that one good save as well, where he tipped it over the bar.
Yeah, good save. Yeah,
and he's coming for a lot of stick recently, and he was good tonight, I thought, as well, Patricio.
He was. I mean,
he made some good saves. He looked more confident, and hopefully now he'll be better and carry on how he used to be.
Yeah, because he has had a little bit of criticism, and I think rightfully so. If you look at an article that has come out on the Wolves official site a couple of days ago with Patricio being interviewed, he's admitted himself that he's been disappointed this season with some of his performances, which I've been saying myself, he ain't been as good as last season, and he's openly admitted that. But tonight, he's put in a very good performance. He's done nothing wrong. So you couldn't blame him for the goal. He had no chance with the goal. So hopefully that boosts his confidence, and he can get back to the levels we've saw him perform at consistently, over the last 12 months or so.
Interesting stat that I've been told by some of the things. Apparently, Southampton are down to 9 men at the moment, and they are now losing 8-0.
7-0. I've got BBC Sport on.
There's just someone mixed telling it's 8-0. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Is it 7-0?
Definitely 7-0. But they had a player sent off within the first 2 minutes, didn't they? So
it was a nasty tackle as well.
So they can get some players suspended for next week.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope they're suspended when they play us.
Yeah, they will be if it's straight red. So, but yeah. So what were you most impressed with tonight then? Just the overall performance. Anyone that stood out for you in particular?
I think the second half was definitely better. We was creating more chances. We were pushing forward, and we seemed more positive.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just confident, weren't they?
Yeah, they were confident.
You have to take it though. I know I'm being a bit putting a damper on things, but they are 9 men, so we don't want to get too carried away, saying like, second half we was running the show. We should. They are 9 men, so let's not get too carried away. We won, but
I do think though, if that had been Wolves, like in some of the performance that within 9 men, or even if they've been playing against 5 men, they still wouldn't have won some of the performances that we've seen as of late. So,
were you nervy when we gave a free kick out in the last kick of the game? Where you're like, oh my god, here we go? Because I was.
Yeah, I kept saying we need a third goal to put it to bed, because all it's going to take is a corner or a silly free kick given away. They'll launch it into the box, and then anything can happen.
Well, when the goalie was taking it, I was like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, they just loaded the box, and that's what you expect them to do, just to try and get some scramble. But we dealt with it well, and I thought overall, like most players, apart from the start of the game, we were poor. There was players off it at the start. But as the game went on, most players did themselves justice and played to the levels we're used to seeing them at.
And confidence is a big thing in anything in life, especially in football. I mean, Arsenal went into a game against Chelsea when they're on a bad run. They got that win by hook or by crook, and then you've seen it turn their season. Hopefully, like you say, this could be the catalyst for Wolves to push on now. We know that we're probably not going to get anywhere near Europe, but we've still got the cup to play for. I think most fans now, if we can just get mid-table and then have a decent cup run, get past hopefully Southampton in the next round, you know, anything's possible, and then get a good summer in, and I think we'd be stronger for it next season.
Yeah, that's it. If we can see this season out in the league and just get a comfortable mid-table finish and not have to worry about relegation, and then go strong for the cup.
Yeah, focus on the cup. Try and get that win.
Yeah, get past Southampton. We're in the quarterfinals then.
Yeah,
and then anything can happen. Then the luck of the draw and stuff comes into play. So the cup does offer us hope, but still at the end of the season saying, that was a pretty good season. We got to the FA Cup final or whatever, so
got the dream.
You never know.
You never know. So just before we get on to the next caller backstage, we've currently got Scott, Ollie, and Dave, who's over in New York as well, on a slightly different timeline to us. Do you want to give us both of your ratings and I know you don't always agree because sometimes they argue amongst each other, which is quite funny. Your man of the match as well.
Right, my man of the match was Neto. He's always a bright spark. He was dribbling forwards, creating chances, getting some good balls in the box.
Yeah, he was positive again, Neto. He's always a danger in it. He's always got the forward thinking, to get at him and create something. Neto, I'll go with Bolly.
Yeah, he was very good as well.
I'm a big fan of Willy Bolly, and I've said before to you guys, I think he's underrated. I think he's a tremendous centre defender, and I think sometimes people don't appreciate how valuable he is to the team.
And he saved the last goal with the sliding block.
Yeah, the one chance they had second half when they went down to 9, Aubameyang got the ball in the box, slammed on the turn, Bolly sliding block. That would have nestled in the corner. Save us again. That could have nestled in the corner. Bolly was there again for that important block. So I'll give it Willy Bolly.
And then our general performance. I think overall it was a 7. The second half was definitely much better. We was really good. But as you said, 9 men, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easier, isn't it?
Easier, yeah.
Easier.
I'll agree. I'll give a 7 because I thought I was impressed second half. Very professional performance, kept the ball well, rotated the play to keep Arsenal moving. Should have added to it with Vitina's chance. Neto forced the goal into a couple of saves. So second half, very good. But first half, there was worrying signs. So overall, I'll give it a 7.
A 7, that's fantastic. And I'm just being told by a few people it's now 9-0. And
it's 9-0. I just checked on BBC Sport.
Southampton 0. They do like losing 9-0, don't they, Southampton?
Did it before,
wasn't it 9-1 before? Was it 9-0? I can't remember, but
it was 9, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's not going to help the goal difference, that's for sure. Guys, absolutely brilliant as always, giving your opinion. I love it when they debate between themselves as well. And let's hope it's good. Isn't it good to be on talking about a win?
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We haven't had that in a long time as well. We needed it.
Oh, yeah. The Premier League's been a nightmare in it for us. So, just great to come on and have something to celebrate.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. And next up, we're going to be having Scott, followed by Ollie, followed by Dave. Thank you very, very much, guys. And no doubt probably see you at the weekend.
Yep. See you soon.
Bye. Have a good
week. Take care. Oh, fantastic! Can you believe that Southampton?
I know. We need to finish for match of the day, Dave, so we can watch all of this.
I know there's so much to see. Scott, you're up. What you got to say?
Well, I'm happy we got 3 points. Let's put it that way, and I'm also happy we haven't lost 9-0. So
there's nothing to complain about.
Nope, it's a good day. I think when we first started and they hit that post, I was thinking, oh no, I don't want to see this, because Arsenal looked, for the first time since we've played them under Nuno, Arsenal looked a lot more scarier than what we're used to when we play them. And I was thinking this is only going to go one way. Mm-hmm. And then literally as it went on and on, and after Arsenal got their goal, I would say the last not long, but I would say the last 5, 6, 7 minutes, Wolves started to be Wolves and started to move, started to play. And then when that ball got through, I was like, this is Jose's first goal. And he brought him down. And, that's just karma, isn't it? That's just lovely to see the guy that took out Raul get a red card in the return game at Moutinho. I bet Raul was secretly in the stands going, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
It was. I said in my instant reaction after match, that seems like football karma to me. What happened with that? So yeah, and I think probably you're right. Raul would probably be sitting there going, "That's karma."
Yeah.
A part of me wanted Jose to take the penalty, but I understood that why Neves did. And to be honest, when I knew it was Neves, I thought this is going in. He ain't missing this.
Neves isn't going to miss something like that. And it was a fantastic penalty. It was like textbook perfect penalty, wasn't it?
And then as soon as we scored that, a second half, I said to some of the groups that was on Facebook, I said, Wolves are going to smell blood now. Wolves are going to want this because they've had that conversation in that meeting where they've all got things out. They've got everything out the system. They want to do this not just for themselves and for Nuno, but for the fans. We need to get a win, our first win in this year. So it's one of them where we're going to go for it. And they did. Straight from the off, we were just at them. And Arsenal had their moments, but not many moments. And then that felt more, and you could argue, yes, they were down to 10 men and then eventually 9, but that felt more like Nuno's Wolves that we've come to love.
Yeah.
And it also felt like Moutinho that we've come to love because Moutinho's had a lot of slack. He's had a lot of flack lately.
Yeah.
And today, when he banged in that goal, I was so happy for him.
Joy on his face as well. He was so pumped for that.
You've only got to see his reaction and then see the photos after, and you see how much it means to him, like how much that goal meant to him. And that goal, it was just beautiful.
It was just a worldie, wasn't it? It was just absolute dream goal. That
I scared my little son because I jumped up off the sofa like crazy, and he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
It was a goal deserving of winning any match. To be fair, it was. After all,
and when I think in recent weeks, when against Brighton, when they were 3-1 up, and like against the Albion, and you just thought they looked shaky, but I thought when that went in. That obviously you don't want to be too confident or overconfident, but I did think there's only one team that's going to win this now. After you think mentally, Wolves have just gone in, they get a penalty in the dying seconds of the first half with a fantastic run of play, score that. Arsenal got play sent off. The mental difference in the two sides going in at half time, I just think probably really did them good tonight.
Oh, yeah, psychological lift that was. I mean, we did, to be fair, we did get lucky in the first half. We rode our luck and we got that right at the end, penalty and a red card. But sometimes in football, that's how it goes. You ride your luck, you stay in the game, and then it turns on an instant. And that is why we love football. And then from that moment on, and the fact that we started so well in the second half and got that early goal, the only disappointment was that maybe we didn't kill them off more. Moutinho had a good chance towards the end, but
Moutinho should have scored
that. Won the game, controlled it out, and it's just that little scare at the end with the free kick, and you just thought, I hope they just deal with it, and they did.
Well, I was watching your interview with Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV, and he said that, and I think you said it as well, like that last time we played them, our season changed completely when Jimenez got injured, and for them, their season got better.
Yeah.
Now it feels like Freaky Friday, where it's all come back to normal. Now we've just become better, and they're going to go rubbish now. I'm fingers crossed. I hope for that, but I'm just hoping now that this is the lift that they need, the lift that they need to go into this game now on Sunday against Leicester. But it's one of them where I said from these next 4 games we need at least 7 points, and I can see us getting those 7 points. I said we'll win against Arsenal. I didn't think we'd win it in the way we did, but we still did it. We still got the win. I said we'd draw against Leicester, we'd lose to Southampton, and then beat Newcastle. And that's where your 7 points come from. And to see them go and win and see them perform like that gives me a lot of hope now that we're going to get these 7 points. I still say that we're not in a relegation battle. And I still believe that we're going to finish 10th. It's just one of them where we've got to be patient. We've got to trust them. And they will come out of this. And with players returning from injury as well. And Jose just looks better every game he's played for us so far.
Impressed with Jose. And to finish off, Scott, before we get on to Ollie, because we want to make sure that we get this done for match of the day, because
9-0.
loads on that tonight. Your man of the match and your performance rating.
Performance rating. I would do the same as like the guy from the Wolfpack Howlers. Like first half, I would say it was a 3, ending near to a 4. Then second half, I'd give us a 7. Not anything higher because obviously they were down to 9 men, but 7 because it felt like glimpses that we were getting better, and you saw signs of the Wolves that would come to love. Man of the match, I want to give it to Moutinho just because it felt like the old Moutinho that we know, and to get that goal, it was like putting the finger up to everybody that's doubted him, everybody that says he's done now, he's gone, stuff like that. This guy is a professional, he's a gentleman, he does his job week in, week out. Yes, he might not be going his way, but that's the same case for everybody in this team. But tonight, everything went his way, and that goal was just beautiful, and that's goal of the season, and nobody's going to beat that.
And that's a brilliant way to finish off then, Scott, and he's a born winner too. Scott, thanks for having you on again. Hopefully we can see you on the post match, and settle back, kick your heels up, and enjoy match of the day tonight. We might even not be on last.
Well,
I don't think we'll be on first though.
The Man U Southampton after that one, but like, yeah,
that 9-0 I'm going to enjoy.
I wish it was the other way around though. I wish it was Man United losing.
Oh yes, definitely. Just to see on his face.
Maybe we can do that to them like next time we play them.
Wolves scored 9 goals.
Cheers, mate.
All right, all the best. Thank you.
Bye.
So that's Scott, and now making his debut on the channel for the first time. And then we've got Dave from New York to finish us off. It's Ollie. Welcome to the channel, Ollie.
Hi,
Ollie.
How
are you? You all right?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. A bit excited, ready to go, but you know, it was all good. I don't know, when we started, I just thought, you know, when when they had that goal and it was disallowed, I just put my hands on it like that, and I just thought it's all going again. And
I think we all felt a bit like that, and then VAR came on, and I was chanting, "I love VAR."
I was just thinking, I was going to go. This is going to go. It's going to go Arsenal's way. I thought Saka was like a real threat at the start.
Yeah, he was unplayable in the first 30 minutes almost until they scored. I think the fact that Kilman was playing out of position, that he knew that pretty quickly, and he was making life very, very difficult for him, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought, to be honest, I thought we played much, much better in the second half to the first half. Whereas I thought in the second half it was more normal Wolves, like we come back. Because in the first half, like I was just, where's Connor Cody? Like he wasn't all the tackles, and then what? Nelson Semedo. I don't really like Semedo, to be honest. I'd much rather play Hoover than Semedo.
Interesting.
I think you got a few friends on here watching you, buddy.
Yeah, probably, yeah. All my football friends.
Is your surname Mardell?
Yeah, they're all Villa fans.
How are they? Fair play. Well, they're on here. Nice one.
But I think it's just nice to see Wolves back in a winning way, to be honest. And just seeing the goal scored, and Moutinho's goal. Oh my days! I was dancing around the lounge, just going mad. I can't believe it. I was like, usually I would have been a Neves screamer, to be honest. But yeah, I was really impressed with us in the second half to the first. But I thought we played really well.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you change, if anything, for Sunday, or would you keep things how they are?
If I was to change anything, I'd put Kilman back in, like, I don't know. I wouldn't play him where he was today. I'd rather.
He did look a little bit exposed.
Would you go back to 3 at the back?
Yeah, I'd go to 3 at the back because Cody's more comfortable there, and I think with defenders we really lack like pace with them. I mean, Bolly moves about, but with Cody and Kilman, they just don't move, if you know what I mean, as much as they could.
Yeah. I think as well, I think Semedo, I quite like Semedo personally, but I think his strength is in the attack, isn't it? It's not in the defence as much. So it's but he, you know, I know he made the mistake for the goal tonight, but I think overall for me, he's improving with every game that he plays. I've been quite impressed with him recently, and I think he was getting a bit more confident on the ball in the final third as well, which, you know, that's what, you know, Doherty scored a lot of goals last year, and we've not had the same from him. So It'd be good for him to score a goal.
He was my favourite player until we sold him.
I think he was a lot of people's favourite players. It was very sad. Felt like it was going through a divorce or something, like when he went. It was quite hard to take.
Yeah.
So who was your man of the match and your rating?
I'm definitely going with Bolly. I think Bolly was the best player today by far.
You know what, Ollie? I thought Bolly was solid. He was single-handedly getting us out of a mess early doors, wasn't he?
Yeah.
If we didn't have Bolly on the pitch today and we were playing Dendonka or someone like that, we definitely would have lost that game. Without a doubt, that game would have been lost. My rating for the match, first half, I'm going to go a 3. The first half, I just thought this is just going to be a shocker. But then when Leno got sent off, it was sort of a reminder when we beat Man City at home. When, it's just
apparently you're a really good goalkeeper, Ollie. Is that correct?
I do play in goal.
Fantastic.
But yeah, and then the second half, I'm going to give it a solid 8. I reckon in 8 was a brilliant. Yeah, I thought we played really well in the second half.
So 5.5 overall then.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, mate.
Fantastic.
All right, thank you.
Ollie, it's been great to have you on, making your debut. Hopefully you'll come on again, buddy, and enjoy match of the day.
Enjoy match of the day. See you later.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. So finally, last but not least, all the way from, is it New York you're in at the moment?
Actually, just outside New York, Connecticut, with a nice foot of snow outside that you can't see.
I was thinking, are we going to get an American accent now, or is it going to be what accent are we getting?
It's a mix. It varies. I've been here 30 years, so.
Well, welcome.
I always recharge my proper accent when I come home.
I did get to meet. What game was it that you came to last year when we had crowds and then you were on the match reaction? What game? It was an amazing game, wasn't it? What was it?
Man City. It was the Man City match.
Oh my God! What a game!
Yeah. I don't know if I can go to another match after that. It was so good.
Yeah, you don't. They don't get much better than that.
I was thinking right afterwards. I didn't want to jump to a conclusion, but the Sherpa Van win, the Newcastle New Year's Day win in 1990, and then I think the Man City match has to be my favourite match, just because it was Man City and just the odds were stacked against us, VAR against us, and we just said, you know what, no, we're going to win anyway. Get out of our way.
If we could have been at the ground, if the game had played out like it did, exactly as it did tonight, and fans had been there, oh my God, it would have been like the Man City game tonight. I reckon it would have been unbelievable. But obviously, we all just had to watch it at home. My dad was actually watching it in his dressing gown and pajamas with his shirt on. So
your dad cracks me up.
I was just like walked in at 6 p.m. and he's got his dressing gown and his pajamas on already. So he's going to kill me for telling everyone that. Sorry.
I didn't wear this because it's middle of the day here, obviously, and I block off my calendar when there's Wolves matches and then delete the block so nobody has any proof that I was watching football during the day. But I had a work shirt and stuff on, so I'm very superstitious. I'm gonna have to save the same shirt. I forget where I put it.
So what do you have to say about the game tonight, mate?
Where can you start? It's 3 points. We need to get some wins, get up the table, stop worrying about a relegation battle, and we finish wherever we finish. And however we do it, who cares? We won. I mean, I think start of the first half we were all over them. I actually was. I missed the shot against the post. Bloody hell! It's the first minute. And we're already hanging on.
When that happened, I thought just maybe it's going to be our night,
Yeah, I wasn't hopeful, to be honest. My dad's side of the family are all Arsenal fans, so this match has a lot of extra oomph to it. So it was good to get the double over him. So I thought we were pretty terrible first half, and very lucky to still be in it. But it felt really good to get a questionable VAR decision in our favour. I think we've earned a few of them.
Absolutely.
It was very nice that Luis got sent off. I definitely think that was football karma for what he did to Raul. But then second half, we came at him and we were, I don't know if it was just getting the goal or the team talk or them being down to 10 men, but we were playing like the Wolves of old. Cody was spreading balls out to the to the fullbacks,
nice
just like he hasn't been, and it was good. But let's not forget we snuck a 2-1 win against a team with 9 men, and with that free kick they had at the end, we almost threw that away. So I'm trying not to get too excited. It's definitely good to get a win, and who cares how we got it, but I think there's still some work to be done.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we can all agree that it was not a pitch perfect performance in the slightest, but I'm hoping that we can take the confidence from that win and go forward to do something, take how we played in the second half. And I think especially moments, it was against 9 men in majority of parts in the second half, but that's what happens in football, isn't it? You can be on one side of it or the other side of it, and unfortunately Wolves were on the better side of it tonight, so it's the fine line, isn't it? You're either on one side of it or the other, aren't you? So fortunately, for the first time, just feels like a bit of relief, really, that finally there's been a few moments we've talked about this season where they could have gone another way. I know last season we were like the ones that were sticking the goals in to get the wins last minute, and we've been on the receiving end of them quite a lot this year. So there's been a few decisions as well that have been questionable. So I think it's nice for us all to feel like we've actually gained something and had a bit of those luck, if you want to call it luck, the luck, I think is what Manny said at the start. So it's good to see and it's good to be a part of, and it's nice to be on this channel, because I said to Dave the other day, we're going to have to stop doing these because they don't win or play well when we do these. So we're going to have to put a stop to them. So it's nice to come on and everyone be in a positive mood.
It is, mate. It really is. Dave, you'll see his international fan reaction. No doubt you'll send me that tomorrow morning or something, mate. But just to finish off, we have got one more caller, which is come on, which will have to be quick. But Dave, what's your man of the match and your rating for the performance?
I give my man of the match to David Luiz, I think. No, Moutinho. I think Moutinho's had that goal come in. I mean, I think he probably should shoot more. But that was a cracker. I mean, that's a goal of the season contender, and he's been getting a lot of flack recently, so I'm really happy for him to get that. Rating, first half probably 5, second half, if they weren't down to 9 men, I'd probably have said 8. But I think given that we weren't playing a full team, probably a 7, just because we don't want to get too excited. But I think there was a lot more better signs the second half that hopefully we can keep going. So overall, probably about a 6 or 7 total for the whole match.
Brilliant, Dave. Well, I'm glad that you've stuck on and waited and you didn't get in trouble with work and everything, mate. So hopefully you can come on again. He always talks a lot of sense, does Dave, and look out for him on the International Fan. Thanks for joining us tonight, mate. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Good way. Nice meeting you, Amy.
Cheers. So, Calvin.
Yes, I'm here.
You've got 2 minutes because right at the end, you've just come on really late so that you don't get on. You've got 2 minutes to give us your thoughts, your man of the match, and your rating, because we're almost out of time.
Okay, I'll make it quick. So, in the beginning of the game, we were slow. Arsenal were pressing really good, great pressure, and right in the first 30 seconds, what a good ball, and Saka almost scored, hit the crossbar, and Arsenal had good chances. They could have been 3-0 up. But somehow, finally, VAR was on our side, and we hold in there. And then I think the David Luiz challenge was it was a penalty, and I think it was a red card. But I know for a lot of Arsenal fans, they could be that should not be a penalty, but it is. And the Leno one was, of course, a red card. And what I think we should do for the Leicester game is. Personally, I think Cody is one of the best players. I love him. I love his communication skills. He's a leader. His diagonal passes are beautiful. But I think he's a player that we should always play in a back 5 and not a back 4. That's why I would maybe consider Kilman as a center back and putting whoever in the right back, and then Nelson can play the left back. And so I would rate this a 7.5 out of 10. First half, not that good, but we bounced back in the second half, and we finished. And My man of the match is actually going to be Nelson Semedo. I've loved the guy. He had a rocky start, but he's getting back where we want him. So, yeah, that's what I have to say.
No, that's brilliant, mate. And I'm sorry we're going to have to cut it so short because we've been on for an hour and 15. I know people want to get off because it's well to watch Match of the Day over here as well. And we're absolutely pleasure. If you try and get on earlier next time, we can give you a bit more time.
Have you called it? Where do you live again, Calvin? Don't you live in like
Mozambique?
Mozambique. Yeah. I know. I thought I recognised you. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So thank you. Sorry, my cat was just like being a pain behind me, so I just had to get it. But thank you. You made some really good points.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Sorry, Calvin. Chris
we'll
is
speak to you at the weekend, maybe, Calvin.
Yes, Leicester. Here we go.
Here we go.
Cheers, Calvin. So Chris is saying about Blossom, saying that your cat is absolutely lovely, Amy.
She is. Just like the owner.
She likes, well, that's true. She does like she likes being fed. Just before the stream, didn't you? Had to go and feed her.
She eats all the time. She's so fat.
She's a fat cat, is she? She likes a lot. Jeff says you've got a nice cat. It's named Blossom, isn't it?
Yeah, Blossom. She's got gold and black eyes.
What type of cat is she?
She's a British blue, British short hair. So yeah, she's. Anyway, enough about Blossom.
Listen, anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for everyone that's joined us tonight on the chat. Some fantastic comments, which we've tried to put as many on the screen. And as always, thank you to everyone that's called in tonight. Some great calls again. Right out of a little bit of time at the end. I don't know how many we got on tonight, but it's been brilliant. But we will be back at the weekend, hopefully again with a smile on our face, Amy, for the Leicester game.
I hope so, because it makes such a difference. I'm a happy clapper, as we call them, but like it is hard to be happy clapping all the time when things aren't going our way. So
hard run, but we've got a smile on our face. We can kick our heels back now and just enjoy the moment, and hopefully we can kick on from here. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
And Jerry, to finish his off, says, "Thank you, Dave and Amy. A great night." This will obviously is out on YouTube. You can watch it back, but it'll also be out tomorrow. If you're listening, it'll be on a podcast with Spotify, Apple, and all good podcast providers as well. Until the next one, which will be the weekend, Amy. Always
Wolves.